Hi, it's Terry at Artisan Market Studios at the Artisan Market at Get Healthy, and I wanted to pop in today and show you and give you a little bit of a tip on when you've sanded furniture. You may remember these pieces if you watched the video the other day when Jewel and I were priming and working on some furniture in my yard. I have the 3 pieces of the table set that I put the primer on there, and I had 2 cans of the spray Kills, and for one thing that wasn't enough, and for the second thing there was still tannin bleed through whenever I used that. So what the tannin bleed through is if you've ever used sandpaper on the top of a piece of furniture before you paint it, or either a fresh piece of wood. This happens all the time because my husband is a woodworker and we get pine from Lowe's and things like that, and you paint over it, and then in an amount of time, it could be anywhere from a day to a week to a month or whatever, all of a sudden you see the knot that was on there or a brown piece come through the paint that you put on there. Even if you've used primer and paint, we get it from Sherwin-Williams, which is awesome paint, you can have the tannin bleed through. But when you use, normally it would be an oil-based primer, so I'm trying something different today because I went by Walmart to grab this primer today because I wanted to work on this project whenever I came in, and I've never used this kind, so this is going to be new for me too, and I'll pop back in at a later date to show you how the tables are coming along at that time. But what I want to show you right now is my husband had used his trailer, and Jewel is going to be working the camera for us today to try to move it around. Say hey. So I wanted to show you just a few things. We used the trailer to bring these pieces up here. We were bringing some pieces that I'm working on here, and some pieces that I had here that I need some construction sort of stuff done to that I brought home for the workshop there. But damage happened to this. Jewel, can you bring that in a little? I don't know if you can tell how much of the brown, it actually went completely through the finish with the damage on some of these, but also there's some tannin bleed through, and the tannin bleed through is after you've sanded a little bit of the original finish off of your piece and you've painted it or primed it, which is what I had started to do in this instance. Then the brown bleeds through. Well, it would have bled through my nice pretty finish that I'm hoping is on here at the end as well, so that's why I primed it. I had 2 full cans of Spray Kills primer, low odor, and that was not enough to do the coffee table and the 2 end tables. But I just wanted to show you the damage that happened. I'm gonna today use a paint on with my old handy pretty brush that I've had many years. I didn't abuse it this way, my husband did. We'll blame that on him. And this is Zinsser. I've heard really good things about them. This is the Bullseye 123 primer for all surfaces, interior, exterior. It's still a water base, so I'm hoping that it'll cover it, because a lot of times you're wanting an oil base primer to hide the tannins that are bleeding through. So we're going to find out whether this will work or not, and if it doesn't, then I will go to Sherwin-Williams and get an oil-based primer. But this set improves hide and coverage of deep color paints, sticks to all surfaces without sanding, seals uniformly. So I'm wanting to seal this, which is going to have bleed through now too, even though I didn't sand that, but it has the damage. But I wanted to show you what happened on a couple of the pieces that I did sand. If you'll remember, these are the tables that I bought off of the Facebook Marketplace. $40 for the set, a little more than I usually spend, but they are very heavy, and these are solid wood pieces, and they smelled like a sorry about that, I had a call come through. We had to spray them down with vinegar for a couple of days to try to get the smoke smell out, and then we used TSP, which is sodium phosphate substitute, to clean them, and all kinds of smoke residue came off of them there. And right now this has a bit of a rough surface, so it is going to need a little bit of sanding. But I wanted to show you the bleed through on these other pieces. Ooh, Jewel, can you show here? This one is going to show the most. This one is the darkest. Will it bend down to show that or not, Jewel? Let's see. It almost looks like a shoe print through there, but it's very, very dark brown that came through on that one. On this one, you can see, let's see, she may need to turn the light down. When we turn this around, we have another light on it. This one you can see where I sanded. This was one of the tables that had the inlaid wood veneer pieces on it, and where some of the inlaid, apparently the people who had it before had just set glasses on it and it got a little bit of water damage or something like that. But when I sanded it a little to try to even that out, I wasn't sanding it to sand the whole piece to get it smooth. I was just trying to knock off the rough edges here, because I'm going to try, I think, some type of distressed finish on the top of here anyway. But I wanted you to see where the tannin bleed through, what that looks like. That's the brown tea stained looking pieces that seep through after you've went through the original finish that was on a piece like this. So I bought the, you can turn the light back on and turn it back around. I bought the Bullseye 1, 2, 3 in gray, and I think that needed to be shook up a little bit. I don't have a stir stick, I don't have a shaker, I don't have any of that, but I am using that because I'm going to go with a lighter color on these legs, and I just wanted to go over these parts and see if it's going to help to hide it. So we will get back to you and give you an update on these pieces after they're done. If you have any questions, anything I can help you with, let me know. Thanks. Bye. You go ahead, George.